Dennis Law, the reluctant match winner, the man who ironically sinks Manchester United. And a warm welcome again to the big match. And so the Football League season, or at least the last full Saturday of it, ends on another high and controversial note. The sadness of seeing a club like Manchester United relegated to the second division is more than matched by the shame brought upon them by a section of their fans yesterday with that mindless invasion of the pitch that caused the match against Manchester City to be abandoned just before the end. You can see those scenes again today, and indeed how Birmingham City made sure of first division survival in their match against Norwich. And our bonus match is the match at the top of the third division between York City and Oldham. Today is also the day when we announce the winning order in our Golden Goals competition. And indeed, the Golden Goals panel has been meeting this week. From the left, Vic Railton of the Evening News, Mick Shannon of Southampton, Malcolm Allison and Bernard Joy of the Evening Standard. Our winning viewer will be here. So too will be the man who scored our winner of 1974. We shall also be talking to the new Footballer of the Year, Ian Callaghan. And we make the draw for the London Five-a-Side Championship, which is to be played at Wembley on Wednesday. A full programme indeed. But first, it's action. And for a start, it's Manchester United against Manchester City, and we join Gerald Sinstadt at Old Trafford.
A tense and emotional welcome for Manchester United, who have just taken the field, knowing that a 36-year unbroken run in the First Division could be coming to an end after 90 minutes of the 90th Manchester derby. An emotional afternoon, certainly, and one can only speculate at the thoughts in the minds of the players. Men like Alex Stepney, the only survivor of the 1968 European Cup winners team. Willie Morgan, the 9th Manchester derby for him today, and only once on the winning side. Lou Macari, brought down from Scotland for £200,000 to help shape the new United. Brian Greenough, who's had to grow up as a footballer in a side haunted by its past. And what can be the thoughts today of Dennis Law, the erstwhile king of the Stretford end, one of the few men to have played on both sides of this game, now returning for probably his last competitive match at Old Trafford, where he knew so many glories and so many triumphs, and maybe now to make a contribution towards his old team's relegation. Well, let's take a check on the two lineups. Manchester United unchanged. Tommy Docherty has faith in the side, beaten at Goodison Park on Tuesday, the setback which has made life so difficult for them today. Mick Martin, the substitute. And Manchester City, they too are unchanged for their last game of the season. Rodney Marsh, who's had a cartilage operation, might have been in this game, but he turned an ankle over in training yesterday, and so the question never arose. Willie Morgan and Dennis Law, two Scots, the skippers, both no doubt aware that one of the minor issues, though not so minor for those involved this afternoon, is that Willie Orman, the Scottish team manager, is in the stand. 8 Scottish internationals in this match for Scythe, Holton, Buchan, Morgan, Macari and McCalliog for United, and Donachie and Law for City. 62,000 people in the ground, making the total at all matches here at Old Trafford this season more than 1 million. The support of the faithful, unshakable. And our referee is Mr. David Smith from Stonehouse in Gloucestershire. It'll be Manchester City to kick off, the Blues against the Reds. The Blues attacking the goal to our left. And of course, it's results in other matches which are important in United's bid to stay in the First Division. But what is certain is that if they don't win here, the results of those matches will have no bearing at all. United, with one game to play after this, that's at Stoke, must win, even if the other clubs are to help them. Dennis Law, and Holton going in hard on him. To Lee. Bell. And Doyle. Barrett. Stewart flicking it. Holton, and back to step. Forsyth. He was in sharply enough then. And Bell then. Summerby, tackled by McCallion. Docherty. Law. Holton threading it out to Daly. That's from McElroy. Morgan. Forsyth. Good burst by Forsyth. And good covering back by Colin Bell. Booth there before McElroy, but at the expense of a corner. Morgan taking it quickly, getting it back from Daly. And that'll be corner number 3 in this game, all of them to Manchester United. And this time Morgan to take the deep one. Holton was there, didn't make contact. That's McCalliog's header, and off the line by Docherty. Turned in again by Houston. Anybody's. Hooked away by Lee. But that was a beautiful cross and a good header from McCalliog. Manchester City saved by Willie Docherty. It's a free kick now for a foul given to Manchester United. And suddenly the game has warmth and passion. Plenty of men to aim at, not least Jim Holton. Got a head to it, but couldn't do anything. Doyle. Daly. Oh, he's made some room now. Good header! Sammy McElroy disappointed. Made good contact, but the angle was difficult. Bell. Barrett. Summerby to Stewart. For Oakes. Well might the crowd ooh. That shot was as close as most that City have had. Ball went out. And there's the half-time whistle. And Manchester United and Manchester City go in halfway through this most vital of Manchester derbies with a blank score sheet. United having certainly not looked like the struggling side they were a couple of months ago. And on the balance of this first half, certainly a better side than Manchester City. They've undoubtedly created the more chances, but City, of course, dangerous on the break. But they go in now to think over a blank score sheet. 0-0 at Old Trafford, but with Birmingham, Southampton and West Ham all leading at half-time, Manchester United will have no illusions about the task ahead of them in these last 45 minutes. Houston. This is Lee. Law. Summerby. Oakes. Stewart. Out to Docherty. Bell. Oakes. It's a United ball. Daly now. That was back into trouble, really. Morgan Howe has Docherty to beat. McCallion. McElroy trying to turn, but Booth gets the ball out and off the flag for a corner. Holton under this yet again. And off the line by Barrett. The shot was Daly's, I think. It was in the end probably McElroy who got in there and was given a lot of time to turn. And Barrett, I believe, whose header it was off the line. Calliog, and now McElroy. Calliog again for Scythe. It's to be yet another cross, but this time on the ground. Daly, Green off, and that sets McElroy through. Little turn and push through by Greenoff. Gave Sammy McElroy the ball for his left foot. Somerby. Across field, a beautiful ball for Stewart. Can he make it tell? Pulled across for Lee and he couldn't reach it. Manchester City potentially so dangerous on the break. Colin Barrett from Manchester City. Their corner. Somerby's corner. Stewart setting himself and putting it over Stepney's head against the bar. Well, that was the biggest let-off for United so far. Stewart measured his shot to the inch, or maybe not quite to the inch. Houston. Calliog robbed by Lee. Back heel for Bell. Dennis Stewart now with Docherty going outside him. Law, Somerby and Lee on or around the edge of the penalty area. Somerby for Stewart. Oh, he really had a go again then. And Stepney got down to cover. Twice in a matter of a minute or so, Dennis Stewart foiled. First by the woodwork, the second time by Stepney. Good catch by the Manchester United goalkeeper. Forsyth. Docherty's clearance too strong and too high for Lee. Forsyth for United. To Buchan, with Law coming to make him hurry. Morgan. Doyle. Somerby slotting it through nicely for Bell. Stewart is away on the left. Lee. Pulled across for Law! Dennis has done it! And no elation there at all from Dennis Law. He'll not have scored a cheekier goal on this ground where he's seen so many triumphs. Just look at that little back heel. We've got an invasion of the pitch that we could well do without. The referee is wanting to take the players off. There are officials down on the touchline talking to him. And the pitch rapidly clearing. Tommy Docherty and Tony Book in conversation down on the line. It surely is over now. And Dennis is going to come off. Farewell to Old Trafford. And Dennis leaves the scene, almost certainly for the last time at Old Trafford. The substitute on is Phil Henson, 21 years old, playing for the first time in league football. Henson. Foul by Somerby. It's as though we've got flower bombs or something being thrown from the Stretford end now. It's smoke of some kind coming from behind that goal. Police are there in numbers. Play going on. And about 5 minutes to go, because I guess the referee will add something on for the pitch invasion. Houston. Back to him. We've got a spectator on the pitch. Well, this is not a very happy day for Manchester, whichever side of the fence you sit on. And one could do with Manchester supporters not to let down the name of the city. We've got two more on the pitch, one at each end. Martin Buchan leading one away. Still smoke eddying out from behind the goal as play restarts. Difficult for the players to keep concentration in circumstances like this. Referee having words with the Manchester City bench for something. Barrett to Lee, Holton holding him off and getting the ball back to Stepney. Buchan. Forsyth. Booth. Booth coming away with the ball. And we've now got fans on the field again, spilling over from the corner on my right. And I suspect that we shall see the referee calling the players off. Yes, he's taking them off. We have, in fact, had 45 minutes in this game, and I don't see him bringing them back on. So that, presumably, is the end of the game. And apart from 90 minutes at Stoke on Monday, the end of Manchester United's 36 years unbroken run in the First Division. Sent there by the last kick that Dennis Law is likely to take on this field. And the end of a sad, sad season for Manchester United. And we've got another invasion of the pitch. And the season at Old Trafford not so much ending as disintegrating. Loyalty is one thing, but without discipline, it so easily becomes a shambles. And now a police cordon marches on, and the rabble retreat.
Well, just what the punishment for those scenes will be, we can only wait and see. But of course, United's immediate punishment is relegation to the second division. And Gerald Sinstadt asked the Manchester United manager, Tommy Docherty, for his reaction to that.
Obviously very difficult. They're a very young side. Even the older players are obviously very upset. I myself, I'm very upset. I'm upset for the players because they've given so much. I'm upset for our directors and the supporters because I feel very ashamed and very embarrassed to be in this position. There is no doubt about it in my mind that everyone that plays against Manchester United, they play twice as hard and run twice as fast. And they all like to beat us and they all like to bring us down. And this is a difficult thing to overcome. How could Everton beat us, then beat Southampton 3-0? It's just not on. And this is the type of thing that happens. And I feel very sorry for them because they've given so much. And no manager could have asked for more than I've got from these fellas.
What did you say to them when they came in?
Well, I couldn't speak for a change. You know, it's very, as you say, it's very embarrassing. In as much as what can you say? You know, we've been lifting them all season and they've responded magnificently. And it's very difficult. Young players don't realise probably the seriousness of it.
What about your own fans, Tom? This tremendous loyalty and enthusiasm they have for you, and yet at times it embarrasses you when it gets out of hand like today.
It never embarrassed me. They're great supporters. And today's incident, I was here last year and Mr. Olive said to me, be prepared at the end of the game, Tom. They come running on the pitch, pick up pieces of grass, and they probably thought it was time up today and they ran onto the pitch. It wasn't the right thing to do. I'm not saying it was. It was unfortunate. There was some injury time, I believe, which, you know, I was a bit surprised at, but I'm not the timekeeper. The referee was in a very difficult
I certainly
position.
thought there were a few minutes to go.
Yes, the referee had a very difficult job to do, and so did the chief of police. And this is what I feel. It's very, very difficult. And since the Nottingham Forest match, of course, this is the second or third time it's happened. And unless something's done, of course, it's going to happen a lot more.
A couple of points I think that need to be made after Tommy Docherty has said that the fans may have thought that the final whistle had gone. If this were the case, surely when Sir Matt Busby appealed to them to leave the pitch, as he did, that they would have done so, particularly in the face of such a strong force of policemen. And secondly, after all, what was there for the United fans to go onto the pitch to celebrate in any case? Now, I believe the solution is clearer than ever, that fans at bigger games like this have simply got to be fenced in. We said it on this programme after the Newcastle affair. We'd repeat it again now. After all, it happens in Holland, it happens in Germany, it happens in Italy, it happens right through South America. And please don't say to me, that's all very well for those volatile foreigners, but not for us. After this season, I don't think we can ever say that again. We take a break now. After it, we're going to show you how Birmingham survived. Who has won the Golden Goals? Meet the man who did it and the new Footballer of the Year, Ian Callaghan. Watch us make the draw for the London Five-a-Side Championships at Wembley this Wednesday. That comes up after the break.
Big Match, Part 2, production number 4818, recorded 28th of April 74, take 1.
And welcome back. More action now as we pick up perhaps the most crucial game of the weekend, the game that decided everything at the bottom of the First Division. Birmingham City needed to beat Norwich City to make sure of staying up themselves and send Manchester United and Southampton down. So it's Birmingham against Norwich. From ATV, the commentator is Hugh Johns, and Birmingham are in the dark shirts.
Gordon Taylor leaves the ball for Campbell. Hatton now. Campbell. Bad ball. Suggett has it. Grapes quickly for Boyer, and Grapes got it late then from Gary Pendry. And already the tensions that one expected to see in this game coming right up to the surface here. First bit of treatment required then. Trevor Francis, who got back on the goals trail again in these recent matches, and Birmingham are delighted about that. Suggett then is preparing to take this kick, though Butler, number 2, is there as well. Suggett's kick. That was a good try and a great goal! Well, that was a shock! Stringer, a surprise goal from Suggett's free kick. That's Steele. Boyer, Norwich still causing Birmingham an awful lot of trouble. Roberts as far as Taylor. Campbell. And again, Norwich tackling back quickly. Roberts for Pendry. Not allowing Birmingham to dwell on the ball. Good jump by Burns. Butler knocks it out. Hind on the jump against McDougall. Now Francis. Benson going with him. Checked well. And it'll come for Taylor. Now Hatton. Taylor. Good try. Beautiful save. Wonderful shot from Gordon Taylor, and an absolutely magnificent reflex save from Kevin Keelan. Hatton. Roberts as Norwich come out. McDougall the flick on, and Boyer's onside because he was in his own half anyway. Cutting in on goal, looks up to see where McDougall is. Tremendous run back and tackle by Roger Hind. Roger Hind, the hero then against that run of Boyer's. Well, Boyer thought he was getting a corner out of it. Latchford had come to get the ball, having been assured by the referee that it was in fact a goal kick. And Boyer's away again. This time Roberts gets goal side of him. Pendry is there as well. That's McDougall! Ted McDougall very nearly sneaking one then on the near post. Boyer the man setting it up. Francis for Burns. Too strong. Aim for Kendall comes to Martin. Francis now. Benson backpedaling. Not a bad cross. Too close to the goalkeeper. For a moment I thought a foul had been given, but no, the ball was all right. Roberts in hard. Hatton. Square for Kendall. Burns, Kendall, that's Hatton going into the box. He was off balance. A great appeal for a penalty that Butler was pushing him, but not given. Goal kick. Very difficult to tell in that situation. Frankly, from up here, I thought that Hatton had, in fact, lost his balance slightly as he cut in on the ball, but the close attentions of Butler had certainly put Hatton off. Hine forward. Stringer gets it away. Roberts. Now Burns. Clearance only goes as far as Kendall. Hatton stretched wide on the left. Trying the shot. Oh, what a goal! How is it possible to get that one in there? Bob Hatton, the scorer, equalises. And for the first time, Birmingham spectators are on their feet, applauding this moment. Just over 40 minutes of the first half played and Hatton equalises. It did not seem possible that Hatton could squeeze that shot in on the near post, but there was a gap. Keelan had left the gap and Hatton capitalised on it. And now the sound roars round this St Andrew's ground. Now the tension has been relieved a little. Campbell following this attack in. Hatton. The cross ball. Burns is under it. And in fact, Burns was truly under it. He didn't get over it. But he jumped well, and it was noticeable at that time Keelan stayed on his line. So, a new game. Sang it forward for Boyer. Sissons. It's wide for McDougall. Benson. Francis robs him. A little bit of emptiness growing into it. Hind whacking it forward for Birmingham. Hatton's there. Forbes gets it away, only as far as Burns. Stretched wide now for Taylor. Going against Butler. Look for Burns. It's there, it's given. Yes, indeed. Burns has made it 2-1 with still about 2 minutes to go. To half-time, Burns, the man who's just been voted the West Midlands Footballer of the Year, puts Birmingham in front 2-1. Well, there's a double blow for Norwich. The attack building up. Campbell stretching it wide to Taylor. The cross ball, and Burns in behind everybody with a beautiful headed goal.
That was the victory that kept Birmingham City into the First Division. There was a certain amount of discussion, certainly amongst the Norwich defenders, as to whether that second goal by Kenny Burns there was offside. I think if we look at it again, we'll see that, in fact, it was a very good refereeing decision. As Taylor puts that ball in, you can just see in the top of the picture, I hope you can see that at home, the legs there of Kenny Burns, and he is behind that last defender, and there's the goalkeeper there as well, so he's in a perfectly good onside position, a beautiful goal, and an excellent decision there by the linesman. So Birmingham then are safe. But now it's time to meet the Footballer of the Year. And you probably read this morning that it's Ian Callaghan of Liverpool who's won the Premier Award from the Football Writers Association, been going since about 1947-48. And this is how we surprised Ian with the news when he came into our World of Sport studio yesterday. Ian Callaghan, welcome again to the World of Sport studio. You think you're here to do an on-the-ball interview, but in fact we've got a very pleasant surprise for you, which will come to you from Mike Langley, who is chairman of the Football Writers Association. Here's Mike.
Ian Callaghan, you are the Footballer of the Year.
Oh, gee, thank you very much.
And you can't take this away now, Ian, but it's what I'm going to present you with on Thursday night at Bloomsbury Centre. You'll be the first,
fantastic.
Not only the first Liverpool player, but I think one of the very few who's played such a long career, 652 games without a booking, never been sent off, and completely in the precept of the original award. Someone who set a wonderful example off the field, and I think everyone is very, very pleased for you.
Oh, fantastic, yes.
So if you'd like to show that perhaps to the viewers. And
There you are. But Mike, I know, is going to get off to a game, so you've got to give that back to Mike.
Thank you. I'll see you on Thursday.
Ian Callaghan, the Footballer of the Year. But our bonus match today is the vital one in the third division, where York City needed 1 point from their home game against Oldham to win promotion to the second division, with Oldham and Bristol Rovers. York City here are in the white shorts. The pictures come from Yorkshire Television, and Keith Macklin is the commentator.
Despite having to face this pretty powerful breeze, are continuing to attack. Swallow, and straight into the arms of Ogden. Burrows, back goes Edwards. Seal to cover the goalkeeper. Edwards has to turn. Jones. Big crowd getting behind York City now. Chris Jones gets it across well, but there'd been an offence. The arm held up for the indirect free kick inside the area. Mr. Bosey is standing a foot or so inside the area with his arm raised for the indirect free kick. A lot of players in the penalty area. A goal! The goalkeeper standing still. It looks like Chris Jones has scored it. That looks like Chris Jones' 20th goal of the season. It is indeed. Chris Jones standing unmarked from that indirect free kick. And Ogden couldn't move, so York City take the lead. Coming to Butler, Woodward, bit of elbowing, free kick to Oldham Athletic. Holmes being told to retire. Quickly taken by Groves to Whittle, and that rebounded off Seal. Jimmy Seal belting that up the touchline, and it just rolls into touch. Jimmy Seal. Whittle the throw to Robbins. Edwards. Clipped up for Jones. More pushing, more barking, more elbowing. Burrows penalised. A free kick outside the area. It was a free kick that brought York City's goal. Now Oldham Athletic look for an equaliser. A most thrilling second half we're having at Oldham. There's the wall, and Whittle again, curling it against our goal! It's a beautifully flighted goal by Whittle. And he's so delighted, he curled that beautifully. It hit the post and bounced the right way for Oldham Athletic. So, Maurice Whittle gets his 10th goal of the season with a beautifully flighted free kick to make the score 1-1, and Oldham back in the game.
That's how it finished 1-1. York and Oldham then go into the second division next season with Bristol Rovers. Before we go on, a word about a couple of testimonials this week in London. Eddie McCready, that great old Chelsea stalwart, he's got one on Wednesday night, Chelsea against Manchester United at Stamford Bridge at 7 o'clock. And then Ron Hunt of Queen's Park Rangers, QPR against Crystal Palace, that's at Loftus Road on Friday at 7:30. Eddie McCready then on Wednesday, Ron Hunt on Friday. Two fellows who really are worthy of a little bit of support. And talking about Crystal Palace, you may have heard that they need to beat Cardiff by 3-0 at Ninian Park on Tuesday night in order to survive into the second division. I can only say that our mathematicians have also been doing a bit of work, and it's better news for Crystal Palace fans, because we maintain that if Palace win 1-0 at Ninian Park on Tuesday, that'll be good enough for them to survive in the second division. But now on the programme, it's time for Golden Goals. And today is the day when we name the winning order and the winning viewer as well. The Golden Goals panel met this week to decide the order of merit. A panel that consists of our guest this season, of course, is Mick Shannon of Southampton. Also on the panel, we've got, here he comes now, Malcolm Allison. And following Malcolm Allison on the panel, of course, we have, as usual, Bernard Joy of the Evening Standard and the last member of the panel, Vic Railton of the Evening News. Let's eavesdrop for a moment on their conversation.
Mike, can we welcome you first of all? And from a striker's point of view, which of those 6 marvellous goals did you enjoy most?
Well, I think obviously the obvious one for me to pick is Keith Weller's. You know, he's made something out of nothing, which, you know, I think you always look for in the game, you know. But I really, apart from that one, I really like Stan Bowles as well.
I thought that the tremendous power shot was Birchinall's shot. You know, that was really a great shot. I mean, he's controlled it once and he's hit it from about 28, 30 yards and he's screamed in the back of the net.
Yeah. See, John Richards was under an awful lot of pressure, probably the most pressure of the lot when he came to strike the ball.
Yeah, people think it's easy running from the halfway line, you know, but when you're running from the halfway line and you've got to think about where you're going to put it, and there's Larry Lloyd running alongside him, another player coming in behind him. You know, he was under tremendous pressure. It was a good goal, as Richards as well.
The best build-up was the Queen's Park Rangers one, wasn't it? Because it goes goalkeeper, winger, 40 yards run, centre, and then the 3 neat finish back of the net. What is it?
Yeah,
3 or 4 seconds
I think
altogether?
possibly Bernard's right, but I think possibly the best single skill of the lot was possibly Dennis Stewart's. You know, I mean, volleying. You know, I mean, it's all strikers' dreams to volley the same way as what Dennis Stewart did.
That's one you dream about getting, Mike, presumably. And if you've got one, you say, well, I shall never get another one like that as long as I lace up a pair of football.
I don't think he will. I don't think he'll ever get another
goal. You say this about Keith Weller's, can't you? Exactly the same.
Yeah, but with Stewart's, I mean, I say, it was so hard that not even a top-class goalkeeper like Shilton, Jennings, or Clements could have got to that shot. It was so hard. It was so powerful.
But that was, you can say it was about Billy Bonds. I mean, no one would get to that shot, would they?
No. But then again...
Or Wellers or Birchinall.
His was a skillful goal, Bonds was, the way it came across.
Well, after hearing you three, I'm not going to vote at all.
Well, I think it's terribly hard because these are surely the best 6 that's ever been on this programme. It's been going now, this is the 6th year. And there haven't been better 6 than this.
Vic, which one would you go for as the outstanding goal?
Stan Bowles, Queen's Park Rangers.
Mike?
I'm tempted to go for Dennis Stewart, but I think I must stick with Keith Weller.
Malcolm?
I'm going to... I like Stan Bowles' goal, so I'm going to vote for Keith Weller.
And Bernard?
I'm torn 50-50 between these two, Weller and Bowles.
Well, that conversation, and it was a fascinating one, went on for some time. But eventually the panel came up with this order of merit. What I'll do is I'll give it to you as we normally do, in reverse order, from 6th best down to the winner. The 6th best goal was goal F, scored by Billy Bonds for West Ham United against Coventry City at Upton Park.
Holland. Here's the cross again, but only Robson is in there. Nodded away for Billy Bonds. Oh, what a goal! Billy Bonds has done it again!
The 5th best goal was goal D, scored by John Richards for Wolves in the League Cup against Liverpool.
Call hoists it away. Smith under pressure. Richards away. Being chased by Lloyd. He got his shot in and a beautiful goal. What a spectacular goal.
The 4th best goal was goal B. That was Alan Birchinall's for Leicester against Leeds United.
The head tennis stops. Weller. Beautifully done, Weller. Stringfellow trying to knock it back to one of his own men. He wasn't there. Stringfellow gets another bite. Chance on for Birchinall. A whack one, and it's a beautiful goal! What about that one with his left foot?
Down to the top 3. The 3rd best, goal A. Dennis Stewart, then of Sunderland. This one came against Oxford United.
So it'll be another free kick to Sunderland, with a chance for Kerr to play the short one to Malone, and now for Kerr to cross one into that Oxford penalty area. Oh, and a magnificent goal! What a tremendous goal by Dennis Stewart! Well, that is a goal of the season.
The 2nd best goal, it's goal C. It went to Stan Bowles of Queen's Park Rangers in the game against Wolves at Molineux.
Leaving it for Daly. A good head. Sunderland was the boy. Got on the end of it. And Thomas absolutely streaking out for Rangers. Over the side is Bowles. Has he seen him? He has. He can't miss it, surely. He didn't. What a glorious move out.
Which leaves us with the winner of the Golden Goals competition of 1974. So, the big match's top goal of the season, scored by Keith Weller of Leicester City in the Cup against Luton.
Whitworth to Weller. Lovely close control there by Weller. Still with Weller. Oh, and what a fantastic goal!
And here's the man who scored it. Good to see it again, Keith.
Very good, Brian, yeah.
I think before we talk to Keith, we ought just to remind ourselves of the winning order of the Golden Goals, and here it is. The winner, Keith Weller. Second, Stan Bowles. Third, Dennis Tuart. Fourth, Alan Birchinall. Fifth, John Richards. And sixth, Billy Bonds. 6 really tremendous goals there, and an enormous response, as usual, from you, the viewers of the big match. The winning entry eventually came from Mr. George Zellini. Here it is, the actual entry that he sent in to us. And Mr. George Zellini is, in fact, in here in the studio. Welcome to you, George, as well. Maybe we thought it'd be a nice idea for you, a viewer, to present our Golden Goals trophy to the man who scored it, Keith Weller.
Okay, thanks, George. Congratulations. It was a tremendous goal and fully deserves that trophy.
Thanks very much indeed. Thanks.
Is that the best you've scored, Keith? I remember you came in after the after you'd scored it and hinted as much. You've not certainly scored one that's better than that this season.
No, I don't. Not one that I've got so much pleasure out of scoring. You know, because it had the beating of the players and finishing off with the shot. You know, I mean, the other goals, all the goals were great goals, but we thought Birch's was going to win it up until I got that one, and then it was, you know.
And it's interesting that the professional strikers have all said, yes, that's the one. Mick Shannon, you heard there, said it. Martin Chivers, who couldn't come to our Golden Goals party today, said, I'm sorry I can't come, but please tell Keith that's the one goal that I would love to have scored. So, you know, it's the pros' goal.
He didn't get a bad goal against us yesterday, actually. So, no, it was, you know, it's one of those games and one of those goals that they either go over the bar or they go in the net, Brian, you know, and fortunately it went in.
George, why did you choose Keith's?
Well, I like to see a goal with lots of control, and I think he controlled it all the way and then hit it into the top corner beautifully. You know, you couldn't get a better goal, really.
As we can see on the caption, you come from Hemel Hempstead, but I gather you're a Crystal Palace fan.
Yes, that's right, yes.
Tell us how that happens.
Well, before Christmas, we lived in South London, in West Norwood, and the ground is only 10 minutes away, so I always went down there. But I still go down there. I've only missed 2 games this season.
That's the right sort of support. You're a games master at Hemel Hempstead, are you?
No, I help with the game, sir. I get the worst job, refereeing.
Yeah? Is there very much dissent at that level, do you find, amongst the youngsters?
Not really, no. The kids at that age don't do very many fouls, so it's usually a very open game and not very difficult to referee.
Do they know you're here today?
Yes, they do, yes.
How do they know that?
The headmaster told them in assembly yesterday. He got rid of me and told the kids, and when I came back, I was asked for so many autographs. I know what Keith feels like now.
You were saying a bit earlier, Keith, that's about the only thing Leicester City have won this season.
Yeah, unfortunately, Brian, we seemed to shot our bolt, you know, right when it counted. We got to the semi-finals and got beat by Liverpool. And we thought we were, you know, certs to go into Europe, but so unfortunately we've not played too well the last 2 months, and the results have gone against us, so we're out of that as well. So
what's been the cause of that, do you think? I mean, you've played such beautiful football for so long this season. What caused that little snap, do you reckon?
Well, I think you know, not being nasty, but Frank and Stevie wasn't putting the ball in the back of the net as often as they were early on, and it, you know, it helped us out tremendously in the midfield and at the back, because they were scoring at will. But they went through a little bit of a bad patch where they never scored in about 2 months, and I think obviously if your top 2 strikers are not scoring, then you're going to struggle. You know, Lenny Glover as well. Although now we've come back on song a bit.
Yeah. Keith, that's marvellous. We're delighted you've got that trophy there. I've got another little trophy here that goes to George Zellini, which I'll give to you afterwards, George. Thank you very much indeed for coming in today, and congratulations, and I hope you don't have to sign too many autographs when you go back to school. But Keith, in fact, before you go, we've got another little duty to perform, which is the draw for the London five-a-side championship to be played at Wembley on Wednesday. Let's do that now. Right, Keith, here's the velvet bag with 12 balls. We're going to give it a good shake. 12 London clubs. The first 8 that we draw out will play 4 first-round matches, and the final 4 will get byes and play second-round matches. So,
here we go. Number 3.
Number 3 is Charlton Athletic, who will play...
Number 12.
Number 12, West Ham. Number 6 is Fulham.
Number 5.
Who will play 5, Crystal Palace.
George's team.
George's team.
Number 2.
Number 2 are Brentford.
Number 10.
Playing Tottenham.
Number 1.
Number 1 is Arsenal.
Number 7.
We'll play number 7, Millwall. They're the first round matches. The final 4 that are coming out, these 4 have byes into the second round. They will play each other in that second round.
Number 11.
Is Watford.
Number 4.
Against number 4, Chelsea, the holders. That's number 9, Keith. Yes,
yeah.
Number 9, Queen's Park Rangers.
And the last one.
And the last one out.
Number 8.
Is going to be number 8, Orient. So yeah, that's the draw for the London Five-a-Sides to be sponsored. Well done, Keith. Thank you very much. We've got a Golden Goals party to go to, so you can get there before me.
Thanks very much.
Being sponsored by the Evening Standard at Wembley next Wednesday. In fact, you can see the highlights of those Five-a-Sides at 10:45 on ITV. This then is the draw again, let's just remind. Charlton against West Ham, Fulham against Crystal Palace, Brentford against Tottenham, Arsenal against Millwall, that's in the first round. Second round byes, Watford against Chelsea, Queen's Park Rangers against Orient. Well, that's it, the last Saturday of the league season, but only the start of a big summer of football on ITV, of course, with the World Cup as the centre point to it all. But we start next Saturday with the FA Cup final between Liverpool and Newcastle, with ITV opening up at 11 o'clock and plenty to keep you excited and amused for the next 6 hours or so. So that's the Cup final on ITV as we say goodbye to another season of the big match. Thank you very much for all your support throughout the season. And we leave you today with a moment when Dennis Law became a reluctant executioner, sent Manchester United into the second division. Have you ever seen a man so unhappy about scoring a goal?
Lee. Pulled across for Law! Dennis has done it!